Talking about midfielders and talking about Manchester United, I wanted to return on Mateus Fernandes, because in the last 48 hours I received many questions on Mateus Fernandes. Portuguese players are absolutely everywhere on the market now, because there is Rafa Leao who said he wants to leave, Gonzalo Ramos is going to Milan, Bernardo Silva went to Real Madrid in a very fast move, and now for Mateus Fernandes, in the last 48 hours I received many questions like, it's true that there is something agreed with Tottenham, it's true that Mateus Fernandes is going to Tottenham, what's going on with Man United? Guys, I still remain stand by my own call on this deal. And so, for Mateus Fernandes, Manchester United and Tottenham are still fighting. Tottenham have been there for days trying to enter, pushing with the player, pushing with his agent, but Manchester United remain in contact with West Ham.
What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to United Focus, and what a genuinely fascinating day of Manchester United transfer news we have got today. Romano has clarified exactly where the Fernandez race stands between United and Tottenham. And the answer is genuinely open. Michael Owen has weighed in on why United need to get this deal done. There has been a devastating injury blow for Manuel Ugarte at the World Cup. Bruno Fernandes has made his future clear, and there are several exciting new names emerging from this World Cup that United are watching closely. Let's get straight into every single detail. Right, let's clear up the confusion on this one, because there have been contradictory reports flying around, and Fabrizio Romano has now given us the most authoritative update available. Romano has confirmed that Mateus Fernandes has not yet decided between Manchester United and Tottenham Hotspur, despite reports suggesting he has approved a move to Spurs, and despite a United reporter separately claiming he prefers Old Trafford. Romano stands by his own assessment that this story remains genuinely open. His exact words on his YouTube channel were worth repeating in full because they paint such a clear picture. For Mateus Fernandes, Manchester United and Tottenham are still fighting. Tottenham have been there for days trying to enter, pushing with the player, pushing with his agent, but Manchester United remain in contact with West Ham. Manchester United are still working on the Mateus Fernandes deal. Here is the key line. Romano said, "Who offers 1 penny more is getting the player from West Ham." That tells you this has become a genuinely financial race rather than one decided purely by player preference. Fernandes has opened doors to both clubs. He is not pushing for one over the other publicly. It now comes down to which club's bid West Ham ultimately accepts. Romano was clear. If West Ham accept United's bid, Fernandes goes to United. If Tottenham win that specific race with the higher offer, he goes to Spurs. The story, in Romano's own words, is open, and he added something important for United fans specifically. From what he is being told, United are yet to give up on Fernandes. That is genuinely reassuring given all the noise from Tottenham's side over recent days, suggesting they had pulled significantly ahead. Romano also revealed just how widely admired this player is across European football. Real Madrid were mentioned in conversations with Jose Mourinho 3 weeks ago. Liverpool made a call at the end of May to ask about his situation. There are, in Romano's words, many clubs keen, really many clubs keen on Fernandes. But right now it is United and Tottenham pushing like crazy to actually get the deal completed. This remains genuinely one of the most fascinating transfer races of the entire summer. United have not lost this one. They have not won it either. It comes down to who is willing to pay West Ham's £85 million asking price first and most convincingly. Adding his voice to the conversation, former United striker Michael Owen has been vocal about wanting this signing to happen. Speaking to Metro, Owen made the case plainly. Casemiro's shoes are big shoes to fill, aren't they? And you know lots of people were writing them off, but he had an incredible last 2/3 of the season. Big shoes to fill. Personally, if I was Michael Carrick, if I was Manchester United, I'd be getting Fernandes from West Ham. I think he's very good. I think he's exactly what they need. That is a clear, direct endorsement from someone who knows exactly what it takes to succeed at Old Trafford. Owen identifying Fernandes specifically as the player to fill the Casemiro void adds further weight to United's determination to get this one over the line. With Romano confirming United remain fully committed to the chase, Owen's public backing only increases the pressure on Carrick's recruitment team to deliver. Now here is some genuinely concerning and unfortunate news. Manuel Ugarte was stretchered off the pitch during what turned out to be his final match of the tournament with Uruguay. He appeared to suffer a knee injury during their 1-0 defeat to Spain in the World Cup, and he was in clear distress as he exited the pitch, a sign that this could potentially be a long-term issue. This is a significant blow for the midfielder on multiple levels. We have covered extensively how United need to sell Ugarte this summer, both to clear his wages and to avoid a PSR-related financial loss, with a £25 million minimum sale price required to protect United's books. An injury of this severity suffered at this stage and in this manner could seriously complicate any move to a new club. AC Milan, where former United boss Ruben Amorim has just taken charge, and Galatasaray have both been linked with potential interest in Ugarte. But if he is genuinely facing a lengthy spell on the sidelines, the appetite of either club to commit significant transfer funds to an injured player diminishes considerably. This is a genuinely unfortunate development for a player whose United career simply never worked out, and now risks complicating his next chapter as well. We will keep you updated on the severity of this injury as more information emerges, but United fans should be aware this could meaningfully impact their summer financial planning if Ugarte's sale gets delayed or devalued as a result. Good, clarifying news on the captain's situation. According to TalkSport, Bruno Fernandes is set to remain at Manchester United despite continued interest from Saudi Arabian clubs. Reports suggest the Portuguese international has already informed his teammates and those close to him that he intends to stay at Old Trafford for at least another season. Fernandes has 1 year remaining on his current deal, with the option for a further 12 months. He attracted strong interest from Al Hilal, Al Nassr and Al Ittihad last summer, and while he genuinely considered a move at that time, the 31-year-old has now decided his future remains firmly with United. That is exactly the stability United need at this stage of their rebuild. Having their captain and creative leader commit publicly to staying provides a strong foundation as Carrick continues to reshape the rest of the squad around him. Update on the left-back situation, and there is encouraging news here for United fans, even if it remains lower priority than the midfield business. According to Team Talk, Newcastle's Lewis Hall is reportedly keen on a move to Manchester United this summer, with Champions League football and a more settled, defined role understood to be key factors driving his interest. United are looking to strengthen at left-back and provide genuine competition for Luke Shaw, but Newcastle remain reluctant to sell and value Hall at around £60 million. United remain in active talks with Hall's representatives. While midfield continues to be the immediate priority this summer, left-back is still very much an area United plan to address later in the window once their primary midfield targets are resolved. There is an interesting human detail here too. Reports suggest Hall was left genuinely frustrated after missing out on England's World Cup squad, with the belief that a spell playing out of position for Newcastle may have actually damaged his international chances. That frustration could be a meaningful factor in his openness to a fresh start and a clearly defined role at a new club. With United monitoring this closely, Hall's situation remains one to watch as the summer progresses, even if it sits behind Fernandez and the broader midfield rebuild in terms of immediate priority. Significant update on the Nmecha situation, and the language being used suggests genuine escalation in United's pursuit. Sky Germany are reporting that United are stepping up their pursuit of Borussia Dortmund's Felix Nmecha as they continue searching for midfield reinforcements. The Germany international has enjoyed another impressive tournament at this World Cup, helping his country reach the knockout stages. Nmecha has previously been linked with Manchester City, Liverpool and Real Madrid too, so this is far from a clear run for United. But United are reportedly keeping a particularly close eye on his situation, specifically ahead of the new campaign. With Carrick eager to strengthen multiple areas of his midfield, Nmecha remains one of several names genuinely under serious consideration alongside Fernandez, Tonali links from earlier in the summer and others. And finally, a genuinely exciting name emerging from this World Cup that is worth flagging for the long term. According to Team Talk, Manchester United are among a host of European giants monitoring Mexican sensation Gilberto Mora following his impressive breakthrough performance at the tournament. The 17-year-old is attracting interest from United, Real Madrid, Chelsea and Manchester City after earning his first World Cup start in Mexico's convincing 3-0 victory over Czechia. Mora currently plays for Club Tijuana and is regarded as one of the brightest young attacking talents anywhere in North America. The fact that a 17-year-old has already shown he can perform on the biggest stage in world football and has attracted interest from clubs of this caliber simultaneously tells you everything about his potential ceiling. This is genuinely early-stage, long-term monitoring rather than anything approaching an active pursuit right now. But these are exactly the kinds of names worth filing away, because World Cup breakout stars at this age often go on to have their stock rise dramatically over the following 12 to 18 months. Make sure you are subscribed so you do not miss how the Fernandez race resolves. Romano's update genuinely suggests this could go either way. Smash that like button if you enjoyed today's coverage and drop your thoughts in the comments. Confident United can beat Spurs to Fernandez? Concerned about the Ugarte injury? And what do you make of the Mora links? In other news, Romano addressed the gap between dreams and reality regarding Tchouaméni and United directly on his YouTube channel, and he confirmed there are two major obstacles that remain firmly in place. The first issue is salary. Tchouaméni earns a significant wage at Real Madrid, and at this stage that financial commitment simply does not align with United's current plans and budget allocation. This is not really about United's overall transfer kitty. It is specifically about the wage structure United are working within this summer, with significant funds already committed to Ederson and potentially Fernandez or Tonali-level signings. The second issue, and this is the more fundamental one, is that Real Madrid have not opened the door to a potential departure. Romano was crystal clear on this point. As of today, neither United nor the players' representatives have received any indication whatsoever from Real Madrid that Tchouaméni could be made available this summer. Now, Romano did leave a door open, even if it is a narrow one. He confirmed that from a football perspective, United rate Tchouaméni extremely highly. They consider him an outstanding player and would be genuinely very interested in pursuing the move if circumstances changed. Should Real Madrid's stance shift later in the summer, perhaps if they bring in alternative midfield reinforcements that make Tchouaméni surplus to requirements, United would absolutely be prepared to assess the opportunity given how highly they admire him. But for right now, this one is essentially parked. The wages do not fit. Real Madrid have given no signal of willingness to sell. This is a dream scenario rather than an active pursuit at this moment in time. United fans should treat any further Tchouaméni links with appropriate caution until something fundamentally changes on Real Madrid's side. In other news, important clarification here from the Daily Mail's Chris Wheeler, because there has been considerable confusion circulating about Rashford's contract situation, and this puts it to bed definitively. Marcus Rashford does not have a £40 million release clause written into his contract. That term has been used loosely in various reports, but Wheeler has clarified the actual mechanics. The £40 million figure is simply a valuation, based specifically on what United quoted Aston Villa at the conclusion of last season's loan spell, back when Villa were the club holding talks about a permanent deal. This is an important distinction. A release clause is a formal, contractually binding figure that any club can trigger to automatically secure a player. What Rashford actually has is United's informal valuation, the number the club has decided they would accept for a permanent sale, communicated to interested parties, but with no contractual obligation attached. And crucially, that £40 million valuation specifically applies to all clubs except United's direct local rivals, Liverpool and Manchester City. If either of those two clubs came calling, United would presumably demand significantly more, given the additional sensitivity of selling a player to a direct rival. We already know Barcelona had the option to sign Rashford for £26 million this year and chose not to exercise it. Tottenham Hotspur are now the latest Premier League club credited with genuine interest in the England international, joining the earlier reports of their interest, alongside Bayern Munich's involvement in Germany. So the picture is now much clearer. £40 million is the realistic going rate for most suitors. Liverpool and City would face a higher bar, and multiple clubs across England and Europe remain genuinely interested as Rashford's World Cup performances continue to shape his eventual market value and destination. Right, let's address this one directly, because the situation has shifted significantly and not in United's favour. According to the BBC, Tottenham Hotspur are optimistic of reaching an agreement to sign Mateus Fernandes, with ongoing talks reportedly progressing positively. And here is the key detail that explains why Spurs have accelerated their interest so dramatically. They have failed with an offer to Newcastle for Sandro Tonali and have now pivoted hard towards Fernandez as their primary midfield target instead. Think about what this means. Spurs went for Tonali first. That deal did not happen. Newcastle rejected or priced them out. Rather than walking away from the midfield market entirely, De Zerbi and Tottenham's recruitment team simply redirected all that energy and ambition towards Fernandez. That tells you Spurs are genuinely determined to land a marquee midfielder this summer, regardless of which specific name it ends up being. Manchester United and Paris Saint-Germain remain interested too, so this is now genuinely a three-way battle for one of the most coveted young midfielders in European football. West Ham want around £80 million for Fernandez. Interestingly, roughly the same figure Tottenham had previously offered Newcastle for Tonali. So Spurs clearly have that kind of money readily available and are willing to spend it on a statement midfield signing. The mention of Roberto De Zerbi being apparently a fan of Italian players generally, having shown interest in Tonali first, suggests there is a broader pattern to Tottenham's recruitment strategy this summer. They want a big, technically gifted central midfielder, and they are prepared to move fast and decisively to get one. For United, this is exactly the scenario we flagged as a concern in our last update. Tottenham's optimism here should worry United fans. The personal terms discussions and direct contact United have had with Fernandez camp throughout this process count for something, but momentum clearly appears to be shifting towards Spurs at this specific moment. United need to respond with real urgency or risk losing out on a target they have worked extremely hard to secure over many weeks. Right, significant clarity on the goalkeeper situation, and it has resolved itself in a slightly different direction than some had expected. According to Turkish journalist Tunus Emre Sel on Spor, Andre Onana will join Trabzonspor on loan for another season, rather than signing permanently this summer as had previously been suggested by some reports. The goalkeeper is said to have accepted all of the Super League club's financial demands following final discussions, and the two parties are now reportedly about to reach a formal agreement on this renewed loan arrangement. What does this mean for United specifically? Onana still has 2 years remaining on his Manchester United contract. With this being a loan rather than a permanent sale, and seemingly without an obligation or option to buy attached, Onana would technically remain a United player beyond the conclusion of this loan period. Now, practically speaking, what is the realistic outcome here? Most likely, United and Trabzonspor revisit this exact conversation again next summer, at which point Onana would presumably be available for a cheaper permanent fee than he would command today, given the additional year that will have passed on his contract and his extended time away from Old Trafford. This is essentially United kicking the can down the road by another 12 months on a goalkeeper who simply has no future in Michael Carrick's plans, with Senna Lamens firmly established as the long-term number one. Not the cleanest resolution, but a sensible enough outcome that keeps Onana playing regular football in Turkey, while United figure out the most efficient way to permanently move him on eventually. Now here is a really interesting development that suggests West Ham are preparing for Summerville's departure, which should be encouraging for United fans hoping to land the Dutch winger. According to the Evening Standard, with Manchester United interested in signing Crescencio Summerville, West Ham have reportedly lined up a replacement for their £50 million rated attacker. Leicester City's Abdul Fatawu is being eyed for a move to the London Stadium, following the Foxes' relegation all the way down to League One this summer. When a selling club starts actively planning their replacement for a specific player, that is one of the clearest signals available that they have accepted a departure is coming. West Ham would not be doing groundwork on Fatawu purely for fun. They are doing it because they expect Summerville to leave and they want continuity in that position.